Good morning, everyone. Today is actually Valentine's Day, so we're February 14th, and I just wish I could show you some stuff to do outside, but we're having a mild, it's not so bad, minus 17 degrees Celsius. This morning, when I woke up, it was minus 41, I think. It's terrible. I've reached this point where just every single second of winter is unbearable. Okay, there we go. So we're, what I was saying is, I reach this point each year in sometime in February, where every single second of winter is just like unbearable. I just look at the forecast for the next 2 weeks, and I'm just looking to see the temperature drop. And today the sun is really hot actually, so we might have some melting, but I mean, we have like 5 feet of snow outside. So I've reached this point 2 days ago. Before that I was like, man, it's cool. But I mean, I woke up the day before yesterday, and we had like, I don't know, 6 inches of snow, and I could not open the doors without having like a ton of snow falling in the house. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna just go and shovel this. I mean, usually when it snows it's not that cold, but we did have minus 37, I think, with the snow. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, that moment was like, okay, I just can't stand it anymore. And I'm looking at all these homesteaders online. They're like, oh, it's winter, spring is coming, and they're like outside in a t-shirt. I'm like, oh my god. I would not live there, because I would not want to live with like the spiders, the snakes, the alligators and stuff. But at this time of year, yesterday we were talking like, why don't we go for like a month, I don't know, in California or Florida or in Spain or something. I mean, my boyfriend can just bring his laptop with him and work for a month, and we can just live and wait for the snow to melt here. Whatever. So this is not a vlog to complain. It's just I wanted to show you, not show you something. I'm not gonna show you the recipe, but I was about to start some bread. So I decided that, hey, I'm gonna open my camera and do the bread. I'm not gonna show you like the complete recipe. So far I've put my my yeast in warm water with sugar. I have here some salt, sugar, warm water and oil. I'm going to start putting flour in that when I can put someone down. He looks guilty when I say that. Huh? Will I be able to put you down? Je vais te mettre par terre. So I can't put him down, so I can't actually put my flour in there. But there's no rush. I actually wanted to do some bread today, because I've been going crazy with the cost of the groceries recently. And by saying that, we don't really like struggle with money. I mean, it's not, we can buy what we need, but and I did not notice that much of a change before Christmas, because I did prep a little bit. I did buy a lot of stuff to stock, so it was expensive. But I mean, I was buying like a ton of cans and stuff like that, and dry goods. Veux-tu en donner à ta petite sœur, s'il vous plaît? But now, since Christmas, I've been like trying to hold down the expenses for 2022. So I made a budget for the groceries, and I was like, man, it is so expensive. I did not realize how expensive it was getting. It's been a few weeks that I'm just going like to refill what we have with fresh goods, like fruits, vegetables. That's about it. I don't really buy like dry stuff, pastas, meats. I already have all of that, and I can't get away with a grocery bill under $250 for a week just for fresh goods. So I'm trying to cut the costs there by making my bread, because we ran out of cereals this morning. Again, kids do eat almost a complete box of cereal per day, and they're still tiny like that. So I'm looking for ways to replace a little bit of that, because they do eat a lot of it. It's not super healthy, and it does get expensive. I mean, so we do have everything we need to make bread, and I want to make like more nourishing stuff like eggs and like tortillas and stuff like that for breakfast in the morning. And with that, I've been thinking, yeah, cool, it's a good thing that we're starting to get serious with the garden this year. But I do feel so powerless with all of that. So I've been wondering if I should not try to produce even more. Thinking, the way I can fight this is to actually try to produce enough for my family, and maybe produce more for people around me. If people, I mean, even if I sell them like super cheap, it's gonna prevent them to like have super expensive bills, and it's gonna prevent them from encouraging this rise in prices. And I know it's due to a multiple of factors, but I mean, I can't imagine when you are already struggling with money how much it can be stressful right now to feed your family. I mean, I'm struggling to fit it in my budget, but I don't need to fit it in my budget like that much. So, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that little man that don't want to go on the floor. Est-ce qu'on va par terre? Tu veux-tu par terre? Tu veux-tu par terre? Tu veux-tu par terre? So yeah, well, let's do this. No. Tu touches pas. Non, tu touches pas. So what I forgot to mention is that I've been doing my bread for many years, but I did not do it for a while. It's been months. No, that's not true. It's been before Christmas I did my last bread. So I've been missing my bread. That's what I'm trying to say. It would not rise, and it would end up like a brick, which is not like totally a bad thing, since I can make like breadcrumbs. I did make breadcrumbs and stuff like that with it, but I mean, it's not the soft bread you want to see. So I've been blaming my yeast. I've been using it for a while, and I used to succeed with that recipe all the time. And I've been trying for a while many different recipes, which all of them would not rise. So I've been buying I bought some new yeast, and I am pretty sure that's my problem. That was my problem. So today I'm trying my classic recipe. I'm gonna try to master it again, and because this one makes 4 loaves of bread, which is good, but not that much. When we do eat at least a loaf for lunch when we make sandwiches, maybe 2 even then. So if we make toast with that, I think 4 loaves can last maybe 2 days. So when I get the hang of it again, I'm gonna try to get this back in my routine. I've been successful to have yogurt pretty consistently in my routine. So and yogurt is so simple to make. I'm gonna make a video about it eventually, but even with some expensive milk, it's so much cheaper than buying it. So we're trying to be consistent with that kind of stuff, because bread is like really some basic stuff to do. We just need to take the time and do it, and kids usually enjoy making it with me. It's just a little bit more chaotic when I have 5 kids doing it with me than 1. So enjoy the process. So that's gonna sit for 45 minutes, twice, I mean. Last time I went to the grocery store, we did have these pre-cut vegetables. They were 50% off. So I'm not sure. I do think it's less expensive. I think it's maybe like on par with buying them fresh, but I do find some use in that, but I will never buy these when they're full price. And so I did buy three of them. The kids ate all the carrots and the celery, so now I'm left with the broccoli and the broccolis and the cauliflower. So I'm gonna just make a little soup out of that. Yeah, so to not waste that, I do have some mushrooms. I can't wait to have more access to fresh foods. I do buy, like I said, fresh foods, but it gets really expensive, so I'm trying everything I can. It's a nice practice to actually try to live off our land. I do have some veggies that are growing right now. I did decide to... I do have a struggle this year, since it's the first year I'm trying to be really serious about all this. I'm also very anxious about this. I don't know how much I'm repeating myself, because I know I've said this, maybe it's on my French channel, maybe it's here, but I don't want to spend like a ton of money on stuff right now, like grow lights and stuff like that, because it does get expensive. But now that I'm trying to get serious, I'm getting anxious, because I do have just one grow light. I don't have that much space to grow stuff, and So I do start my seeds in bunches of like tens and twelves and hundreds, and it's gonna end up taking a lot of space. So what I'm saying is that I'm getting anxious, but because I don't want to fail. But I mean, I've been gardening for years, for over 10 years, and I've made so many mistakes. I've made all of this just so randomly. I'm trying to get to feel a little bit confident. I'm thinking if I did start my like tomato starts or pepper starts for years without knowing anything, without using the right date, without using the right soil, without any of this, just like eyeballing it and not knowing anything about it, and that I've succeeded, why would I fail? Like a total fail. I'm gonna fail on some parts, of course, but why would I fail? So all these explanations to say that, ouch, that I'm burning myself with oil, that I need to get more confidence, and that I'm trying to use my grow lights to actually grow stuff for inside gardening. I do have some tomatoes popping up right now, the tiny microtim and orange hat varieties that are like this big. I'm gonna show them to you. I'm gonna try to do that today. It's so satisfying to see these little tomatoes popping, but I'm thinking if I want to actually eat them, I mean have a good quantity of them, I need to grow more of them. So I'm thinking about trying to use my grow lights more for that than for my seedlings, which I can grow in front of windows. I know it's not ideal, but trying some stuff. So I don't know where I'm trying to get with all this, but the thing is, it's not hard to eat fresh during the summer or even during the fall. It gets harder in winter and in spring, right? So I've been thinking about all of this. If my goal actually is to be able to grow some stuff inside. I do have a lot of microgreens. Wow, that burns. I do have a lot of microgreens. So now I'm growing lettuce, tomatoes, and I'm thinking if I can grow these during all winter, and that I do have my squash and my stuff like that do preserve pretty well during for a long time, and that I do have my canned stuff and dehydrated stuff and stuff like that. That's a nice variety of foods that I mean I've grown myself. So sorry, I'm picking my mushrooms. So in an ideal world, I would eventually have space and grow lights for my seeds and my inside growing stuff. But I mean, a part of me is thinking, I mean, my great-grandmother and her mother and her mother, they all did this, and they did not even have electricity. Maybe they were not planting like tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that, but we're all doing the best we can. My gosh, why am I explaining all this? I do think we live like in the perfect time to do this. We have so many varieties, so many options, and we can actually fail. So, but it does adds an extra pressure to have access to all this. I mean, is it pressure? All this information and stuff that make you feel you're not doing enough, or maybe you're gonna fail if you don't do it that way. But I mean, it's not that much of a pressure compared to the pressure to actually be able to feed your family for a year. I mean, my great-grandmother, if she failed, they could actually starve. So I don't have any point in singing all this. So we can see the temperature fluctuating here, -13, and outside we have this beautiful sun that actually makes the snow melt, but we're a long way to go. We're actually starting to hear birds again, which is nice. This is part of what pisses me off with February, is that it's so cold, we get so much snow, but we do have these glimpses of hope for spring. So there we go. It's better than what I did before, than what I used to have. I'm gonna have to try. I think I did not like I don't know what's the word, but you know, like play with it enough. But it did rise more than usual. I like when it's really, really hot, like it is right now. I like to go and just put it under the water, running water, for a second, half a second, and it's so hot it's going to all evaporate, but I'm gonna lose that crust. The crust is good, but I prefer when it's tender. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna see. That's about it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us today. See you next time. Bye.